There is a craze for football worldwide. Often, we do not get to hear about the past or stories about the best football players. These football players have had a past that they shy away from speaking about, or incidents that they don't like mentioning, but here we are bringing those stories to you. Before we get into it, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the video so far. Thank you for helping a small channel like us. We know this man as one of the best strikers in the history of football, Zlatan. Behind all of this newfound fame and trophies, there lies a dark past of his. Zlatan's mom was incarcerated and his dad was a raging alcoholic. This parental background of his made him quite insecure and kept him longing for love, affection, and acceptance. While he was a kid, he had two goals: becoming a great football player and owning a car. While he was playing for youth football clubs, he did make money, but his dream of buying a car remained fruitless. In order to earn more cash, he started committing crimes of stealing bikes, looting, etc.
I need a bicycle, and my father didn't have money to buy one, so I went on the streets and I was looking for first opportunity to steal one, and I stole it, came to the training, and came back.
This cash that he earned not only gave him the push to buy his car, but also gave him an adrenaline rush. He bought a Porsche Turbo, and in one of the wild nights, he found police chasing after him instead of stopping. He drove through a tunnel and hid from them. That very night, he started to rethink all of his life's decisions and took a step back to realize the mistakes that he had committed.
I was driving fast because I like the adrenaline. And then suddenly police was chasing me. I drove until I found that tunnel underneath the highway, and I was waiting there and they...
That day onwards, he decided to channel his adrenaline somewhere else, on the football field. The Zlatan that we see today has been born out of hardships and perseverance. The next story is about our boy Lukaku. In 2017, when Lukaku was on his way to setting records, both on and off the field, he thought that something wasn't right. He had been playing for Everton, but he wasn't satisfied with his then current performance. He understood how playing for Everton had reached its peak and that a change was inevitable. With this thought in mind, Lukaku received a text from his boy Pogba, and he gambled his career. Lukaku demanded for a transfer, and while he was awaiting his decision, he rented a mansion in America's most happening place, Los Angeles. After hearing that both of them made it to Manchester, an exciting night awaited them. The night was young and wild, but there's a peak to everything. Their neighbors had put up with the loud blaring music, but when they spotted a dirt bike open the air, flipping over, they called on the cops. 6 times over, and the cops pulled over at the last call. Long story short, he got arrested. At that point of time, Lukaku had been making millions, and therefore he had lawyers in the palm of his hand. He got scot-free with a fine and ended up buying the mansion. We all know how Sergio Ramos is a wild child and has always been one. His parents have always voted about his safety and feared that they might get a call someday informing them about Ramos's accident. They urged Ramos's brother to enroll him in a football club, and Ramos complied. While playing for Sevilla, Ramos felt that football lacked the thrill his heart desired. He felt that football wasn't as dangerous as he would like it to be. He was barred by the club from riding a motorcycle, but his thrill got in the way, and he rode a motorcycle in secrecy, which led him into an accident with his brother-in-law, Carlos. He had to inform his club about the accident, and what followed changed his life.
Yo tenía prácticamente prohibido montarme en las motos ya desde el club, y bueno, pues una desgracia, un accidente que tuve con mi cuñado Carlos, y en el Sevilla pues tuvimos que contar la verdad, obviamente, porque era inevitable.
Fue prácticamente un año y un poco más donde lo pasó mal, porque él no podía prácticamente ni andar.
Estuve a punto de quedarme cojo y estuve un año prácticamente, hice pues una recuperación pasando un dolor.
Pensábamos que no se iba a recuperar.
Ramos was in recovery for over a year, and he was fearful that he could have gone limp. Surprisingly, his recovery went well, and with his perseverance, he is at his best position now, playing football. On the other hand, he did not stop riding a bike, and we can only hope that he does not involve himself in another accident ever again. Let us listen to the story of Van Dijk. His family was struggling, and he had to work tirelessly in order to put food on the table. He worked at the hotel where his boss gave him an ultimatum, and he had to choose between his job or his dream. Deep down, he had always known that he wouldn't be able to survive without his dream. He continued with football. Thankfully, his dream took off, and that very year, he was signed with the Dutch Pro Club and the Netherlands national team. When everything seemed to go uphill for him, this incident changed his life. While practicing one day, the other players noticed that he was behaving weirdly, and he had no idea why this was happening as well. he went home so that he could recover. While driving, he felt nauseous and drove up to a hospital where they could not reach a diagnosis and sent him home. He tried to sleep it over, but he could feel the throbbing pain in his heart. Luckily, his mom barged in and he was rushed to the ER. The doctor had them sign a will of how they should hope for the best, but the worst could happen as well. The doctor found a ruptured appendix, damaged kidneys, and intestines. He was informed after waking up that he was minutes away from death and that him being alive is no less than a miracle. Van Dijk got a second chance at life and he wished to make it count. This player from Sicily, Ignazio Barbagallo, made it to the news, and the incident was reported as one of the most controversial in the history of Italian football. Ignazio was on the verge of retirement and he wanted to make it grand. Playing for the last championship, he faked his own kidnapping by landing a helicopter in the middle of a game. This led to a compromise in the safety of other players as well, which led him to pay a fine. A group of masked men came down in the middle of the pitch in a helicopter and carried Ignazio away in it. This controversial case led to 3 months' worth of investigation, and when the truth was found out, no one was happy. But in the end, Ignazio got the retirement he dreamt of with a bang. We did save the best for last. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man who we all simp for, has been scammed for over $300,000. Known to all, Ronaldo has a busy schedule and he wouldn't be able to book his flights by himself, and therefore he entrusted the job of booking its flights to a travel agency. This travel agency gave him a representative to deal with and book his flights. He traveled for years freely, but then he gets a call from his accountant that might have made him to scream. His accountant informed him about how there have been flights going to Angola, Russia, and the USA when he hasn't been near those places. They contacted law enforcement, who then started an investigation. Narrowing down the suspects, the travel agent was caught. The travel agent has been dealing with billionaires, but she couldn't save enough to travel abroad even. When she had the opportunity to deal with Ronaldo, she found that it would be best if Ronaldo could be made the victim. When arrested, she was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and when she would be released, she asked to pay the $300,000 that she had raked from his account. On a related note, we would like to know which story have you found the most fascinating. You can tell us in the comments section below. Through these stories, we realize that greed often boots a blanket on the eyes and shades us from reality. On the other hand, we also came to realize how hard work and perseverance can put us back on our feet, even if it takes a lot of time. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.